my god, this is okay, everyone. Hello, everyone. The friends like this is Airplane 312 here with the Adventures of Grant Travels. Today, we're gonna have a product review of the light dildo attached to his gun.
Yeah, it's a light laser combo.
And just so you know, guys, if remember that lock I talked about before, if you need one, you can always go to the hospital or gun store and you can ask about these.
I heard somewhere along the line that some sheriff's offices will give it away for free in some counties. Not all of them have them, but a lot of them have a resource program that does it for free too.
Or you can also talk to the FBI agency. There's one nearby. You just find the resources. All you need to do is contact the local police department and ask.
Yeah. And if nothing else, they don't cost that much. It's sometimes something between what, 10 and 20 bucks or something like that.
Yeah, maybe 5.
Yeah, not even. Yeah, it's like
that.
$5 or something because they're really big on promoting gun safety for where you go with those. But if you happen to find a gun on the street or anything like that, or you buy one off a pawn shop that doesn't have it, and you have kids at home and whatnot, it's worth it your time to get one of the gun locks.
Here's the pre-opening. It was pretty much easy. You don't need a knife to open that.
Yeah.
Here's the deal. Here's the charger.
I'm having to tilt the camera up a little because your window behind you is showing it's not doing the best light. There we go. That'll work better.
Sorry about the quality of the video and stuff. And here's the light. It's probably not on. Oh yeah. See?
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. And if you click it again, it goes to laser, I think, or something like that.
I think that.
Or click it and hold it or something. We should probably read the instructions on it. I've never played around with the actual weapon lights.
And there's 2 buttons on both sides. You can see right there and right there.
It should have a solid light mode. It might have a strobe light mode. I can't remember if this packaging one does or not. Some of them do. And then it should have a laser mode.
And just so you guys know, I'm going to do this. As you can see, it's kind of hard to see, but this gun is unloaded. And the thing should attach right here.
Yeah, and the idea behind it was to make the gun shape, if it does print, if I have to carry it in my pocket or whatever, and it does print, it makes it a little more square like a phone, instead of the clear thing that you can tell that it's a gun, the shape of the gun. Was the idea behind buying that, and then for low light situations, it doesn't hurt to have a flashlight.
And here's this. I'm not sure what.
That should be the, I believe it comes with a charger for the batteries. Because there should be 2 batteries in there, and then the idea behind this is you can charge this at the wall and you still have the battery on your gun, and your gun's not glued to the wall. So you have use behind it. That's why they have 2 different ones.
Here's the manual. There's that. Upside down.
Yeah.
Oh, I had it right. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
And then you flip it, and there's that.
I forget what the actual prices of them are now. I know I bought the second highest price one. There's a cheaper LTR version out there that's literally just the batteries that are not rechargeable. I bought the rechargeable version specifically because I wanted to be able to recharge the batteries. And it cost more, but I can't remember the prices on them now.
I'm not going to flip through the pages. Pause if you want to read it.
But everyone on the internet said this is the type to buy that has the rechargeable batteries, because apparently the regular one with just batteries eats the batteries up. But if you hardly ever plan on using the flashlight, but you just want a flashlight on the phone, there's a cheaper version. That's literally just batteries that you buy, that are watch batteries that you buy at like Walmart or wherever.
Sorry about my finger. If you really need to, you can also look this up online too.
Yeah.
For the manual.
There, you can screenshot through that if you need to.
And also, we're going to talk about this now.
This is what I went out trucking for, was the basic, the gun and the holster and belt is basically your whole gun package. Well, that and ammo. Those are the 4 things you would need: the gun, the ammo, the belt, a nice sturdy belt to keep the gun on that won't flop all over the place, and a holster.
So it kind of goes like, here's the clip. I'm going to stand up for this to show you guys the clip.
Yeah.
That's for the outside. And for demonstration, because we're going to have to show you, this is going to fit. Should fit in there. Doesn't seem like it wants to fit.
You might have to loosen the retention thing up. You're supposed to be retention screws.
Yeah, there's a retention screw right here.
Yeah.
So it should fit.
So I got Kydex. You can get a couple different kinds. You can get leather, but leather wears out over time. It supposedly feels better on your skin when you're wearing it on the belt, but it wears out over time and could possibly get in the trigger guard. I didn't want that, so I went with Kydex because I'm going to be carrying it in a coat.
So it's kind
More
of
so
like
than on my
this.
belt.
Should
Yeah, so it's going to be
like
more
that.
chest size right there rather than in there, because the majority of the time I have a coat on all the time anyway. I'm somewhat should probably get low blood pressure checked or whatever, because I have low blood flow problems, and that causes me to be cold in weird places. So a lot of times I wear jackets more than a normal person does.
And here's where it's signed, which we don't recommend, because see what we're talking about?
Yeah.
That's
So that's starting to go over to her appendix carry, and no matter how well you train with it, the odds of getting pulled over on a traffic stop and having a cop remove that from you once you let them know that you have it, and you should let the officer know you have it on you.
if we find one of those videos that a cop accidentally discharges the firearm, we'll post it. She probably didn't realize where her hand was. We're not saying that she did some horrible wrong. Yeah, she did something wrong, but the police department, quote unquote, fucked up.
Well, that's just a situation in which you can't control it. You know, they don't exactly want you going anywhere near your gun to take it off and give it to them. And so you have to trust that officer knows what they're doing with that gun. And then if it's a different, a Glock is more generic, so I shouldn't have issues with it anyway. But if you're wearing something that had like a Sig Sauer, and not all departments deal with other kind of off-brand type of guns, and so they very well could accidentally set it off. That's why I don't advocate wearing appendix carry unless you don't have one in the chamber, because you never know when the situation is going to come up when you're against a cop who wants to go to disarm you. And then the other thing I would hint out is that if they do go to disarm you, have them take the gun out in the holster.
Yeah.
Don't have them remove it from the holster. Just have them
tell them to
unclip it.
remove it from, like he said, tell them to remove the holster. If they're having difficulty and stuff, explain to the officer, say, I'm going to do this very slowly. I'm going to slowly remove the holster from my area, and I'm going to slowly hand it to you.
And you can ask that way. Most cops are going to want to take it off themselves. And so before they go to reach for it, I would politely tell them, ask them to take the gun in the holster, both off.
And then tell them, say, if you can't, I'm going to slowly remove it from my area. And you do it slowly.
Yeah. And so to avoid all of that, I'm just not going to carry appendix unless the situation arises where I need to. I've done it
every
before,
time you do, when you're slowly moving it, tell it to repeat it over and over. So when the body cam say, "Oh, Your Honor, he said this and stuff." Your Honor, I said that constantly, over and over. That way, any police officers that come, realize, saying, "Hey, I'm helping you. I'm removing my gun since you're feeling afraid to remove it," and then you remove it from the holster. You remove the holster from you.
But I say overall it's best to avoid appendix carry for that reason. Or if you do it in appendix carry, don't carry with one in the chamber, so you can avoid that if that does come up. But teach their own.
Or take the risk.
Yeah. And you also do take the slight risk that one day you're not paying attention out of, normal routine. You're at the range or something, practicing going inside and outside the holster between shots, and then you shoot yourself. That's kind of on you for
Just
wearing it that way.
by the way, just so guys so you know, there's nothing in the...
Yeah.
deal. So when we demonstrated that, there was nothing in there.
Yeah.
So this gets flake and stuff.
But this holster, gun, and flashlight combo are all designed specifically with the flashlight extra on the holster itself. Oops, which way did that go? That way, And then anyway, you can buy a holster that's smaller than this that does not have the flashlight, just has the guard for the trigger guard. But I chose the one that does have the flashlight because I specifically bought a flashlight laser light combo with it for that purpose. And like I said earlier in the phone, it's to make so if I do accidentally print somewhere, especially in my coat chest pocket, where it's a little bit more visible, it'll at least look less like more like a phone and less like a gun because of the shape of it. When you put in the gun and put the gun into the holster and all that, it'll look more like a square object, rectangle object, instead of the shape of a gun. So I put some thought into how I'm gonna carry.
And then if we do go to the rifle range and stuff, or demonstrating stuff of the gun firing, if we get time and stuff and we feel comfortable making the video and stuff, we'll release the video for that.
Yeah.
If we do not, sorry, but we made judgment call of saying no.
Do you want to include the belt on this video though? Because the belt and the gun go together as a system. So maybe we should have it all. I bought a ratchet belt, and the reasoning behind that is when he gets it undone here, it acts like a ratchet, like a wrench ratchet, where it can let you go in every certain little bit so that you can tension it down to the exact fit that you want, and then when you're sitting, you can actually unratchet it. Like, because I drive a lot, so I'd be sitting, and you want, more room to breathe as it pinches up into you or whatever, you can ratchet it out without having to take the belt off by just pushing the button in or something like that. I forget how it works exactly, but you push the button in and it ratchets it back out, kind of just like a clamp.
We
like
might make a
desk
separate.
clamp would do.
We might make a separate video for this, but here's
Yeah.
the video for that. Here's the
But
ratchet.
these are the basics right there that you would need: is the gun, the ammo, the holster, and the belt.
All right, we're gonna
Start
talk
with.
about this in the next video, guys. So we're gonna say like and subscribe, and we'll catch you guys in the flip.
Yeah. Leave, comment, share. We'll catch you in the flip. Peace.